What up dudes, Dean here. This is a quick informational video exclusively for the attendees of the Leamington Fake Festival, which is taking place on the 20th of May 2023, which is the day after tomorrow if you're watching this now that I'm recording it. Unfortunately, it is of great disappointment to have to tell you that I'm actually going to have to cancel the brunch part of the day, which I was really hoping that we could get together and have a bite to eat before we go in. And the reason for that is because our booking was at 10 o'clock in the morning and they actually stopped serving at 11. I think it was a comment in the event chat a bit earlier that said the first act doesn't actually get on stage until 12:45 in the afternoon, which means if we finish eating at 11, there's going to be an hour and 45 minutes of us waiting for something to happen, which is a long time. However, there is another opportunity for us to feast heartily together a bit later on in the day, and I'm going to talk about that and a whole bunch of other stuff in this video that I've just put together. So please do take the time to watch it through to the end. I've got lots of juicy information for you, so sit tight, let's get started. So I am quite lucky to have an ace up my sleeve information wise. I happen to know a guy who went to the same festival in Leamington last year, says he had an awesome time and he's booked in to go with another group this year. So I just thought I'd give him a bell and pick his brains on how things work. He shall remain nameless, but for the benefit of this video I'll call him Dave. So Dave has given me lots of tips about what you can expect on Saturday, so I'm going to share them with you right now. So I grilled him on 6 subjects, and here are my bulleted notes from that conversation. Number 1, the weather. Obviously it's been chucking it down with rain lately. I'll be surprised if there's anything left up there that can fall from the sky. So we are due an awesome week or so of weather. The forecast looks fantastic. I think we really have timed it perfectly. Number 2, the area. So you can probably see from the promotional videos that the bands perform inside a marquee, and the rest of the park all around it is effectively a chill out area for us to do with what we want. So we don't have to go in to watch the bands if we don't want to, and we can sit outside and take a breather anytime we want. Maybe we aren't into some of the bands as much as we are the others. Dave did say that it can get a bit hot in the marquee, so taking a breath of fresh air every so often is probably a good idea. So it sounds like we've got lots of space to move around. Topic number 3, I'd been thinking to suggest to you all that you perhaps stick a carrier bag in your pocket, and we could maybe pick a spot somewhere in the field that we all return to after the music, and we can just whip our carrier bag out and sit on it. Can't imagine, as I say, the weather's going to be that bad, but it's always good to have something to sit on, because even if it's dry, let's not forget that ants in our pants can very much certainly make your belly button dance, as the saying goes. So a carrier bag is a good idea. What Dave said is that there's some tables and chairs available outside the marquee, but I guess they might be in demand, so perhaps do bring your carrier bag just in case, or do what Dave did last year with his crew, which is take camping chairs. So obviously that's a bit of a win-win. Firstly, it's somewhere to leave your coat, which you can obviously always grab if you get a bit chilly. Obviously what we can do is put all our chairs and coats together, which is what Dave did, and he said with his group from last year, which wasn't as big as ours will be on Saturday. I think we're on about 25 now at the moment, so we've got quite a group. With Dave's group, he found that there were people dipping in and out of the marquee, and there was always someone with the chairs at all times. So I'm thinking it's going to be a really good idea to take a little chair along. So I've got this collapsible chair, which not very big and extremely light, has a nice strap on it, so I can just stick it over my shoulder, and I'm all set, light as a feather. So obviously this, let me just take this out and show you. Nice little bag. Take the bag off, and there is my collapsible camping chair. Now that is an incredibly small seat for a lanky chap like me, so fortunately I happen to have another one which is considerably bigger. Again, it's got the strap on it, so I can just stick it over my shoulder and I'm all good. So if you don't have one, of course, 'tis the season to go camping. So if you need a camping chair, there's plenty of spaces that you can go get one in the next 48 hours. Sainsbury's, the Little Middle Aisle, Homebase, B&Q if you want to go out to Stratford, they all have lots of that kind of thing in at the moment, so really good timing. It does actually say on the event website that you can even take small tents if you want, which is a bit extreme. I don't know, maybe you might want to get a nap or take your sleeping bag as well. That's a bit much. Anyway, chairs are a good idea, I think. Number 4, drinks. So the rules on the website say that we can actually take in a maximum of 500 ml of water, and water is actually free inside. They've got a good selection of beers and ciders and spirits, and drinks are paid for with vouchers, which you have to buy from a voucher selling stand. And obviously that means you can then go up to the bar and just quickly pay for beers at the bar. Obviously that takes away all the fiddling around with coins and notes and makes the drinks buying process much quicker. Dave said the bar was inside the marquee at the back, and he said that the tokens, the vouchers are $5 each, which means that drinks are $5. So I did ask him about non-alcoholic options, and he said, as does the website, that there's things like Coke, Fanta, all the soft drinks and stuff that you can get available at the bar inside the marquee. But there's also food stalls outside, which segues quite nicely into my point number 5. Dave said that there are a whole heap of food stalls within the grounds, but they are quite pricey, which I think we did predict. But what Dave was saying about the drinks point is that they do actually sell drinks as well, so we don't necessarily need to be restricted to what they have in the marquee for buying drinks. So hopefully they might have some non-alcoholic drinks outside as well, because I like my my Heineken Zero. So we'll see what some of the food stalls are selling by way of drinks outside. Food-wise, however, as I say, I think we did predict it would be quite expensive. And Dave was saying that you would probably pay about £10 or £12 for a burger, which is ridiculous. So what Dave did last year was pick a time during the day, and his crew took a walk out of the venue and up the parade, and they went into a pub and sat down for lunch. So we could still go to the bar and block as we previously intended to for breakfast. It's just that the breakfast menu will have finished, but the venue has plenty of space, lots of seating area, plenty of nice nosh on the lunch and dinner menu. So that's an option. So we could perhaps wait until after the first act and then take a walk up the hill for lunch. But we'll talk about that when we get in there, decide who wants to do what. Topic number 6. I haven't got 6 fingers. Parking. So I looked at the Q&A on the event site, and there was absolutely nothing on there on the subject of parking. I think many of you are local, so I guess there will be plenty of walkers in our crew, so perhaps parking isn't quite the issue. But there are a few parking options that it's worth mentioning for those coming from afar. Firstly, it's worth pointing out, where is Victoria Park? So I think it's probably safe to assume that anyone who's been to Leamington before knows where Jefferson Gardens is. So across the road from Jefferson Gardens you've got the pump rooms, and behind that is the pump room gardens. And if you look even further across over on the map, behind that is Victoria Park. So I have to confess not knowing what the entry point will be, but I guess just knowing where Victoria Park is to get to should be enough on the day. So back to parking, there is plenty of street parking around Leamington, but beware, you are typically limited to 2 hours maximum, which probably isn't really ideal for a full day of festival fun. So a few car parks to look up on the map, which are quite close that you might want to take advantage of. St Peter's multi-storey is probably quite a good one, lots of space in there. And I think the train station car parks, the long stay ones to the left that is, don't go in the short stay one. So there we are. Those were the notes that I scribbled down while I was talking to Dave on the phone. I think we do owe Dave a hearty pat on the back for all this advice that you gave me further to what's on the website. And he will be there on Saturday, so if we see him I might just reveal his true identity if he's happy with that. Don't forget what I said in the event chat about wearing something red. I think we'll always have a place to go back to once we've established our meet-up spot inside the grounds. But wearing something red will be a useful way to spot each other if we're wandering around. It can be anything really, a scarf, a hat, a jumper, just something red to keep you in the vibe. And if anyone's in need of any inspiration, I'm going to show you what I'm going to wear, my red item, because I have this rather fetching pair of red and black run and fly trousers, which are as funky as you like. So if anyone thinks they can outdo me for style with their red item, bring it on. So once I get inside, I'll post up a message or two on the event chat to say where we are, so keep an eye on that event chat. There's less than 48 hours to go. Whatever happens, we'll have an awesome day as the cool and sociable crew that I know we are. And I'm really looking forward to catching up with you and just getting out there. If you've got any questions in the meantime, drop me a message, let me know. This is Dean signing off for now. See you Saturday.